All right. Hey, everybody, welcome back. We are diving into some murky waters today.
Murky Waters is right.
We're talking about cheating.
Oh, yeah.
We asked you all to send in some sources, and you did not disappoint. You sent in this quiz called, Do you consider these 41 scenarios cheating? Let's find out.
41.
That's a lot. This is going to be good.
Buckle up.
Yeah, get ready to maybe feel a little awkward, maybe think about some things you haven't thought about before. Who knows, right? But that's what we're here
That's
for.
what the deep dives are all about. But I think before we dive into the specific scenarios, like what even is cheating?
Right.
Because isn't it kind of like different for everybody? Like what I consider cheating, you might not, and vice versa.
Totally. Like some people are okay with flirting, others are not. Some people are okay with like looking at dating apps, even if they're in a relationship. Some people, I mean, who knows? We're going to find out.
Well, yeah, and that's what I think is so cool about this quiz is that it's not trying to be like the definitive answer, you know? It's more about like exploring all these different viewpoints and kind of making you think about like, huh, where do I fall on this spectrum?
Exactly. Okay, so let's jump into one of these scenarios. How about this one? Flirting with a barista. What do you think? Cheating or not cheating?
I mean, off the top of my head, I can see both sides. Like if it's just like, lighthearted banter, hey, how's your day going? I don't know, maybe some people wouldn't even consider that flirting. But then there's definitely a line, right? Like if you're lingering a little too long, batting your eyelashes, asking for their number.
Oh, yeah, then it's getting a little sus.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of it depends on like your attachment style, Like someone who's really secure in their relationship might not even register that as a threat, whereas someone who's more anxious or avoidant might be completely freaked out by it.
And the quiz even mentioned how past experiences with cheating can totally change how you view things. Like,
Oh.
if you've been cheated on before, you might be way more sensitive to any kind of behavior that even remotely resembles it.
Oh, absolutely. Trauma can play a huge role in shaping your boundaries and what you're comfortable with.
Okay, here's another scenario that I thought was interesting. Keeping a dating app on your phone, even though you're in a relationship.
What do we think about that one?
Okay, red flag alert. Maybe. I don't know. Again, it depends. Like if you and your partner have talked about it and you're both totally cool with it, then fine. No judgment here. But if it's like a secret thing you're doing behind their back, then that's a whole other story.
Right, because then it's like, why are you hiding it? What are you afraid of? And that goes back to what the quiz said, right? If you feel the need to hide it, that might already be your answer. It's such a good point. And I also think it's worth considering, like, why do people feel the need to hide things in the first place? Is it because they're actually doing something wrong? Or is it because society has all these expectations around relationships? Like, you have to be completely devoted to one person and never even glance at anyone else.
It's like we're programmed to think that any kind of interest outside the relationship, even if it's totally innocent, is a sign that something's wrong.
Right. And that can make people feel really ashamed or afraid to talk about their true feelings and desires. Like maybe they're just curious or they need a little ego boost or they're not even sure what they want.
And that's where communication comes in,
Mm.
right? Instead of hiding things and letting them fester, talk to your partner.
Hmm.
Like, hey, I'm feeling a little positive, I don't know, restless or whatever. Can we talk about this?
Yeah. And maybe this quiz could be a good starting point for those conversations. Imagine like cuddling up on the couch with your partner, going through these scenarios and just seeing what comes up.
I love that idea. It's like a fun, low-pressure way to get into some deeper stuff about your relationship.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, there's no one-size-fits-all answer to what is or isn't cheating.
Right. It's all about figuring out what works for you and your partner, communicating openly and honestly, and respecting each other's boundaries.
Totally. But speaking of evolving definitions of cheating, I've been thinking a lot about how technology plays into all of this. Like, what about online behaviors? Let's say you're having like really intense, emotionally intimate conversations with someone who's not your partner. Is that cheating?
Ooh, that's a good one. And there's no physical contact, but it's still like a form of intimacy, right?
Right. And it can be even more confusing because online relationships can feel so real, even if you've never met the person in person. So where do we draw the line?
I don't know. It's a tough one. But I think it goes back to what we were saying before about communication and honesty. If you're hiding those online conversations from your partner, that's probably a sign that something's not right.
For sure. And maybe that's a good place to leave our listeners with a little something to ponder. What do you think about online relationships and emotional intimacy? Where do you draw the line? Let us know.
Yeah, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for diving deep with us today. And remember, relationships are all about learning and growing together. So keep exploring, keep communicating, and most importantly, stay true to yourselves.
See you next time.
Bye.